Nobantu Webster will follow.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm enjoying the chanting of our name at the back. It's good after the pressure from the two previous ladies who have kept to time and really, really honored Uncle Kathy. Good morning, everybody. As has been introduced, my name is Nobantu Webster. I am co-founder and deputy leader of Build One South Africa. This morning we greet the family, the family that has gathered us here today together with the foundation. I want to also send greetings to the political parties and other organizations that are represented here. And like Lerato, I do want to say that it is an incredible honor to be able to be here to reflect on the life of a giant, to be able to be here as young leaders, as young people who do stand on the shoulders of giants and who are able to today have the opportunity to participate in the building of our own country because they lived and because they have charted the way for us and ahead of us. I send greetings from our leader, Musi Maimane, who holds great respect and great fondness for Uncle Kathy. He sends his warmest greetings to the family and to the foundation. Recently, it was a week ago, if I'm not mistaken, we were sat with some of the leaders here and some of the colleagues here from other political parties as we commemorated Sharpeville. And standing there that day, it was very significant, particularly in an election year, that we would commemorate the lives of those who fought for the struggle and who fought for our freedom. And so it is really an honor, and it is really fitting that a week later, we are here commemorating the life of Uncle Kathy, who was one of those who fought for our freedom and who was one of those who gave his life. And in fact, shortly after that incident of Sharpeville, was one of those who was detained as a result of those actions. Yesterday, I was in Cape Town at an informal settlement called Pumlankash. A few days before that, I was in Tembisa. A few days before that, I had been in Durban at another informal settlement. And seeing the lives of South Africans and seeing the struggles of South Africans, I couldn't help but this morning reflect on a quote that Uncle Kathy shared while he was alive, which is, when I say we have achieved dignity as human beings, we must always still be aware that the challenges are no longer apartheid. The challenges are poverty, hunger, malnutrition, unemployment, housing. These are the challenges. And there's no dignity in poverty. There's no dignity in hunger. So we cannot be satisfied in what we have achieved. And as a political party, representing a political party today and with others, I think that there's a lot there is to reflect on the life of Ahmed Kathrada, and there's a lot that we need to look at and reflect on ourselves, especially in this campaign period, as we have been warned, to always put South Africans first and to always remember what the legacy is and what the job is now. It looks a little different, but at the end of the day, justice, equality, freedom, and dignity remain what we need to be fighting for. One of these things that we must remember is the sacrifice of living for a cause. We look at the life of Ahmed Kathrada, who started his political activism when he was 12 years old, and you're reminded of a generation that truly was incorruptible as freedom fighters, a generation that was truly selfless. We stand at a time and in a watershed moment in our country where that's what we have to be. If we are to realize the fruits of the freedom that was fought for, the sacrifices that was made, we really truly need to be selfless. It cannot be about us. It has always got to be about South Africans. When you look at the life of Ahmed Kathrada, who joined the Young Communist League when he was 12 years old, who at the age of 17 left school to work full-time in the offices of the Transvaal Passive Resistance Council, and his many years, 26 years, spent in prison, that is a life that is given up for the people of this country. And that is what we must take on. And that is what we must be willing to do in whatever shape or form it comes in. We must take from Ahmed Kathrada a lesson in collaboration. And never have we needed collaboration as we do now. We're at a time where we have to put South Africans first. We're at a time where we have to put ourselves aside. And we know we're at a time where inevitably, in the provinces, nationally, we have to look at how do we work together, how do we collaborate, how do we work in coalitions, how do we put aside whatever is our politics, how do we put aside whatever is our own ambitions and put South Africans first. Uncle Kathy worked tirelessly to promote joint action. As a leader of the Youth Action Committee, he coordinated the wings of the African, Indian, and other congresses. He was a champion for non-racialism, which is something, as Bulban is saying, we hold at the core of who we are. He was a champion for collaborating and bringing people together who had different ideas, but who shared the need to see the advancement and progress, justice and freedom for South African people. We've been personally inspired by Uncle Kathy, and Musi often very fondly shares how before he passed on, he had wanted to take him and Julius to Robben Island, to be able to share personally with them what that was about, what that sacrifice was, and what that meant. And we've seen Uncle Kathy even during the Fees Must Fall protests of 2015. I myself wasn't a student. I'm not as young as I may look. But I was at those protests and remember seeing him there and moved, because those are people who we had thought had run their race and had given us everything they had to give. But he was still there to support young people. He was also still there to be able to encourage and inspire the fights and the challenges that we have to forge today. I myself am inspired by his support for women leadership. When we hear of his support for the 1956 Women's March, I'm inspired by that and I'm encouraged as a woman leader. And so, as we commemorate this life, as we reflect this life, particularly in this incredible year, that is 2024, in this important and significant year, may we remember that we stand on the shoulders of giants. May we remember that the path that was started is ours to continue. And we recognize and appreciate and want to acknowledge the work of the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, who continues that legacy and that work. But it is for all of us to do that. It is for all of us to always remember what it truly is about in the end. It is about the dignity of South Africans. It is about justice, social and economic justice for South Africans. And it is about making sure that this journey, this work that has been started by the likes of Ahmed Kathrada is continued and brings the prosperity that we have always wanted to see in South Africa and know that this country is capable of. Thank you.